Hi everyone. I wanted to make a video today to review some of the fragrances from Maison Violet. I learned about this house from, I think, a perfume guy or Sebastian had a interview with the recreator of the house. I can't remember what year it was, but I ordered after that. After watching that interview, I ordered a sample kit from the house at the time with the fragrances that they had in line. And I think the sample kit was quite cheap, and I was surprised that for I can't remember how much I paid, but they included the shipping to Canada. Anyways, received a sample pack and tried a few of them, and I really liked a couple of them. So the first one I bought from this house was Nuee Bleu, and I think Nuee Bleu was basically, we'll go to the history a little bit, but one of the original creations of the house. And the second one that I ended up buying in, I think, based on review of someone in the groups, and that was Pourpre d'automne. I think that's how you say it, Pourpre d'automne. It's a little bit difficult for me to pronounce that, but that was the second one. And then recently, Delise had sent me, one of my subscribers had sent me a sample of, in addition to samples of the Les Indémodables, he had sent me samples of Une Heure d'Apogée, An Heure d'Apogée. And unfortunately, I'm not sure. I remember putting them in some place, and I said, this is a good place to put these, and I will not lose them, and I will have to go back and review them. And of course, I don't know where that place is anymore. That happens quite often in my life. So I'm still looking for those samples. I haven't found it. I tested it at the time, but it was quite brief. I can't recall how they smelled. So I have the two fragrances today to review, but if I find those samples, I will do another video on that. So what really kind of captured me in the interview, like a perfume guy's interview with the recreator of the house, was a little bit of the history. I'm a sucker for the history, and I get immersed in like the history and what the life was back then. A lot of times, like, and I live in my head sometimes in past times. So it was very interesting to me that recreator of the house had mentioned that this house was around and founded in 1827, and then I think they had closed down after the World War II in 1950s because of the economical challenges. And then the three enthusiasts in, I think, 2018 decided to bring back the house. So I think the house was founded by Francois Etienne Violet. That's such a nice last name. Imagine your last name was Violet. In 1827. And apparently at some point, this was very interesting, I learned this today, that in 1842, they became official supplier to Empress Eugenie. And then apparently there were fake bottle issues even back then. And they became with this trademark of the bee, which is, most of us kind of associate the bee with the House of Guerlain, but I think Wolsey was also Empress Eugenie had something about the bee. So it might have been that connection that brought the trademark of the bee in 1857. And they changed the name of the store in 1858. And then there were a few fragrances at the beginning they had. I think some, like what was mentioned, was Sketch and Pourpre d'automne. And then in 1950, basically, they faded due to economical crash in the world. So what I have here, I'm going to maybe I'll talk about the two fragrances I have first, and maybe we'll kind of review Une Heure d'Apogée later. So number one fragrance that I bought from them is Nuee Bleu. And apparently they also have soaps of Nuee Bleu, and that's one of the bestseller of the soaps at the time that when I was listening to the interview. I'm not sure what it is now. And Nuee Bleu was not the first year of launch, but it was launched in 2019, and seems like the both fragrances I have are by Nathalie Lorsan. I'm not sure if other fragrances in the house are also by Nathalie Lorson. So for Nuee Bleu, it's classified as a floral aldehyde fragrance for women and men. And the brief from the brand says, a suspended moment at the top of a wild landscape, the first song breaking the calmness of summer mornings, the promise of a new day filled with freshness and inspiration. It is the speeding wind that splits, jumps, fuses, and springs out of time to predict the second after. It is the resonant murmur that awakens the senses. Nuee Bleu is the faithful messenger, the subtle witness of power. Nuee Bleu is an intrinsic battle. In its core, the lightness of the eau fraiche genre contrasts the power of the fragrance, the candid roundness of orange blossom against the seductive spark of the iris. It opposes the shapeless, cloudy musks with the strong, rigid sandalwood. The fragrance roars and thunders. It swirls with lightness in a fight already won. Already won, like it's not already won. Fragrantica mistake. Originally released in 1953, which is interesting because I thought that in 1950s they went out of the business. Interesting. Nuee Bleu is considered as the last fragrance signed by Violet. Oh, maybe he made it for another house. It is taken from the historical period of the house between the post-war period and 1955. All right. So that may be not right. What we were talking about earlier, if they maybe it's 1950s that they stopped working. So now I have a in terms of the notes in it, the top notes are bergamot, lemon, and orange blossom. The middle notes are iris and carnation. That's a really interesting kind of combination because iris and carnation are sometimes could be opposing forces. Like carnation is a little bit warm, spicy. Iris is a little bit solemn and powdery. Base notes are white musk, sandalwood, and benzoin. So let's try. I have a pre-sprayed blotter, but I will spray from the fresh here. Let's see. Not spray us. So also, what I wanted to talk about is that they have changed how the bottles look like. So this is the older, and also you could see the bee. Let me just put my hand behind it. You can see the bee emblem there, right? And this is how, in the bottom you could see the name of the fragrance, Nuee Bleu, and this is how the old bottles look like. Now the newer bottles. Let me see if I could bring up the image of the newer bottles. So they have changed a little bit, and I like I like the old ones, old presentation better. The new ones are really, really modern. So that could be. So this is how this is very kind of grainy, but this is how the new ones look like. Like it's a little bit rounder, and this is how it looks like, a lot modern than these ones. But I really like these ones, these presentation of the bottles. Anyways, did I spray it already? Ooh. I get the orange blossom in this one like right off bat. An orange blossom is sweet, but it's not too sweet. And there's that kind of peaking carnation a little bit with the spiciness of carnation. And iris in general kind of added some sort of powderiness. It's not really overpowering iris anyways right now. And there's, I think the sweetness probably coming from the base being like the benzoin and a little bit of, I feel like there must be some vanilla in this one, but it's not mentioned in the notes, but sometimes benzoin can give that kind of vanilla-like smell to this one. So it is a beautiful one. I feel like this would be great for summer months. It's very fresh and clean, and although it's not like just innocent fresh and clean, it has a little bit of an edge to it, as the description of the fragrance kind of mentions it. I have one that's, ooh, interesting. So the pre-spray blotter, yeah, has much more pronounced lemon in it and much more citrusy now, that like citrusy in a more lemon way than orange blossom way. And the musks and the base notes are coming in this one. It's almost like more appropriate for like hot temperatures in when it's dry down than it is in the open. Very interesting transition. Like almost like it's not a linear fragrance at all. I feel like it transitions really well. Like it's not like unrecognizable from one to another, but it really transitions really, really well. The first spray is not really overwhelming or like taken over or anything like that. But then as it dries down, it's kind of that freshness is really amplified the lemon aspects of it. So this is a gorgeous one. I feel like longevity in this one could be around like 6 hours mark. It's appropriate. I like it that way. So I can, in the middle of the day, if I want to change my fragrance, I could do it. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I should probably use it more. And I will cherish this bottle for what it is because I don't think that I can get another bottle like this because this design is beautiful. So there was that. Next one I have from the house is the hard one. Pourpre. I think I looked up what pourpre means. I think that means just purple, like something that's purplish, purple autumn. And it came out. So this is one of the first releases of the house in 2018, and it's a categorized as a floral, woody musk fragrance for woman and man. And the nose behind it is Nathalie Lorson again. The description says, purple lipstick on the complexion of a soft skin. It drapes the nose of its velvet scent. It's soft and autumn colors radiate deep into the heart. They depict a fragility imbued with the recklessness, a fragrance of contagious sweetness, the touch of a delicate moment. Pourpre d'automne is a caress, a simple opulent reading, an organic rose and a purified violet. It is autumnal sheep atmosphere with powdered notes of fruity chalk exacerbates its juicy peach, a fragrance with a captivating charm. Inspired by the version of 1923, Pourpre d'automne was an iconic fragrance of the house. The bottle was imagined by Lucien Gaillard and was adorned with vine leaves. Pourpre d'automne was attributed many rewards, including the World Exposition of 1925. Isn't that interesting? Very, very interesting. So then, looking at this one, I think the house, other than these two, has also called a BIM complement, Pour rêver, sketch, Tanagra, and Air de Projet, obviously. And then there's another line. This is Héritage line, and there's another line called Siècle or Cycle. 002, and then there's the Les Expressions line that is California Blossom, Musk Angelique, and Rivage. So I'm really curious about these ones that I have not tried, but let's go try. Let's go try the one that I have. I have a pre-sprayed blotter, and I also have the. I'm going to spray it on a fresh blotter where I can find it here and see what it is about. There we go. Okay, I quite like this kind of design of the bottle with the bee and then the name in the bottom here. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the sprayers too. They're so strong. So really from here, it's violet, 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 and just hitting my nose. The notes are violet, iris, violet leaves, rose, musk, peach, oak moss, plum, and benzoin. So lots of violet, like violet and iris, but a lot more violet than iris in the opening. And I think there might be some musk that comes through. I can't really smell rose, peach, oak moss, plum, or benzoin. Those might be the notes that will come more in the if I am going to try on my skin or maybe on the blotter. Lots of, it was like at the beginning, it was like a powder bomb, but more like violet than iris. Now in the dry down, I do smell the rose and peach. They're more coming, like the violet and iris have settled now. Like they add that kind of powdery aspect. Sometimes it makes me think of some of the Raja's creations, with the, and maybe also Guerlain with the rose, violet, iris, and peach. Also oak moss kind of combination. But there's now the sweet notes are coming up a little bit more. Like there's the peach and a little bit of maybe benzoin, and but violet and iris are also there, but quite now tamed. Like the initial blast of it was quite powdery, and it was a powder bomb. It also says has violet leaves. I sometimes have a hard time with violet leaves. Not in this one. It's not doesn't coming up so sharp. Such a gorgeous perfume. If you are a fan of violet, go ahead and try this one. I think I've recommended it to a few people and they have also enjoyed it. It's not maybe the first spray you would think of a little bit of makeup-y, kind of chalk-like iris, but it's not. It doesn't carry through the fragrance like that. So if you're hesitant about that kind of iris, try a sample and see what you think of that. So I did have a sample of the longevity with this one is about 6 hours. I think maybe a little bit longer than Nuee Bleu because it is less kind of fresh, maybe 7 hours. It is good amount for me. It's appropriate amount for me, and I love it. And I should wear more. In terms of price wise, the house is also really good in terms of their price point. Comparing now to what the price points are in terms of niche fragrances. So let's see. I think you can still find it on some websites. I'm just trying to look and see if it's still available. Or maybe it's out of stock. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, there's a couple left in some stocks. It's also on discount. That's a great one. So if you wanna know what this website it is, contact me directly on Instagram and whatnot. I'll let you know. In terms of the other fragrance that I had here, which is an Air de Projet, and unfortunately I don't know where my samples are. Those notes are looking very interesting to tobacco, haze, sage, mimosa, leather, suede, iris, atlas cedar, cashmere, labdanum, and ambroxan. Now I can't remember what it smelled like at all. And in fact, let's see. And the perfumer is also Nathalie Lorsan. So if I do find my samples, I will definitely do a short review on that one as well. Please let me know if you've tried anything else from this house, if you like anything from the house, and if I should be trying something else. If you liked the video, please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button to be notified next time I'll put on a video or live videos. And I shall see you later. Bye-bye. Have a good day.